The Church of the New Maiden had practically fallen over themselves rewriting the laws of inheritance. Before the ink of Brianne's birth announcement had even dried, the entire country knew that one day she would take the throne and, according to prophecy, clean, revive, and heal the world. Elodie thought that was quite a lofty promise, all things considered. "That crown is too big for her head," Rob laughed good-naturedly as he peered down at Brianne. The slight waif of a girl was dressed in a lavish gown of aubergine, cinched at the waist and fanning out like water falling over the edge of a cliff. The careful gold stitching glimmered in the afternoon light that poured through the church's northwest window. "Not for long, the way people keep fawning over her," Elodie muttered, looking down at her own gown of grey, its subtle silver thread hardly a mark of distinction. In Velle, the Queen's first daughter was supposed to inherit the crown, but Elodie's role as the heir apparent was short-lived. She'd been only 4 years old when she was cast aside for the prophesied third daughter. Now 17, Elodie ought to be used to their altered hierarchy, yet moments like this one left her smarting. "Be nice, Elle," Cleo piped up from her left. The middle Warnu sister was caught between loyalties. "She looks beautiful." Tears of joy glimmered in the 15-year-old's eyes as she stared down at Brianne. Yet her body was still turned decidedly toward Elodie, as a silent but stalwart supporter. "I'm never nice," Elodie snapped, "only honest." But the truth left a sour taste on her tongue. That honesty, a trait that should have confirmed her place beside Brianne as Queen's regent, had instead relegated Elodie to the balcony during the most important political event of her lifetime. The chaplain banged his sceptre against the stone floor 3 times as the assembly completed their hymn. "All hail the Queen," he called, his voice sharp as a wasp's sting. His beard was threaded with silver, his hair carefully combed. His attendants were draped in long white robes, their sashes the same aubergine as Brianne's dress, a reminder that the new queen was permitted to don her holy colours. But then, she wasn't just the queen. "Long live the new maiden," the crowd answered back. Elodie held her tongue. As though the chaplain could hear her silence, he cast a glance upward to the balcony where the royal family sat. His icy blue eyes snagged hers like knees against gravel. His expression was triumphant as he curled his long-nailed fingers protectively around Brianne's shoulder. "I win," his eyes seemed to say, as though the crown resting atop the head of his daughter wasn't proof enough of his victory. "I just can't decide," Brianne had admitted to Elodie the afternoon before, as she stirred sugar into her tea. The sisters had taken lunch in the Queen's chambers. "You're so clever, of course," Brianne continued, the knot in Elodie's stomach tightening with every clink of her sister's spoon. "But my father said—" Elodie had held up a hand. "Bri, your father is the head of the church. What he says stands to serve only his allegiances, not ours." Brianne had frowned. "But isn't everyone's allegiance to the new maiden? The crown only exists to serve the church." Elodie had gritted her teeth. Of course her sister would think that. Brianne had been educated by the clergy folk, immersed in the church of the new maiden's word since birth. She had not been given the chance to develop the nuance required to rule a country. Velle demanded an unbiased regent, someone grounded, who could see beyond prophecies and false loyalties. After watching the church indoctrinate her youngest daughter, Queen Terra had committed herself to untangling the interests of church and crown. It was an effort Brianne and her father had not been privy to. An effort that would disappear like hot breath on cold glass now that Elodie's dearly departed mother lay buried in the ground. Unless her eldest daughter was chosen as Queen's regent and finished what her mother had begun.